Well, I think that's it's an excellent point there because one of the questions I've had here is, how do, in order, for example, in the area of fintech, you know, how to tackle the very, stringent regulation in the area of financial services and technology. What is the best way to address that? Do you have any solutions or ideas about that? Because of course, Indonesia has a very strong central bank and regulatory agencies for very good reason. So how do you strike that balance between regulation and allowing the private sector to flourish?
I can start. Hasta, I can take a stab at it. I must confess, I'm not a fintech expert, but in Indonesia, I think again, some of the innovations are not just limited to Gojek, the mobility services. There's innovation happening even within the fintech space, the payment gateways and services. And I think here OJK has played quite an innovative role, the Financial Services Authority. So they've been innovating on the regulatory side with sandbox and looking at examples from US to elsewhere. So I think there's been quite a lot of ongoing improvements in that area. I think, having said that, and this is something we found in our research as well, you have a very interesting situation in Indonesia where the fintech is happening slightly outside of the banking sector. These are the players, actors in that space are outside the banking sector. The banks, the dominant banks, at least there are a handful of them, they are still focusing on their core business, and they see this fintech perhaps with a bit of, if I could use the word skepticism, a bit of risk. So they do not perceive it as that fintech is going to disrupt their core business. So what we found was, and this is through interviews with the banking sector, was that they see the situation evolving where you'll have a cohabitation of banks doing the core banking services, and you'll have these fintech companies providing fintech solutions. And there could be situations where banks maybe co-opt or purchase some of these fintech companies as they become big. But the trend is likely to be one of cohabitation. So again, these are interesting dimensions of things that are happening in Indonesia. And I think OJK is, seems to be on top of things to understand that context and put out the necessary.